Hello, my amazing Algebra Half students. This is Mrs. A, and I love math. And lesson 91 is a fun lesson and a fast lesson. We're learning about trichotomy and symbols of negation. Okay, so basically what this is talking about when it says trichotomy is that every number is going to divide our number line into three parts. So let's look at the number 2. The number 2 will divide our whole number line into three parts because every number is on the number line is either less than 2, or it's equal to 2, or it's greater than 2. There's no other option. Okay, so -2 divides our number line into three parts. The number that we're talking about is either less than -2, or it's equal to -2, or it's greater than -2. No other options. So we're talking about relationships between numbers. And we only have less than, greater than, or equal to as our three options on relationships of one number to another. However, we have some cool symbols here. So here's our number line, and we're used to seeing these. These are our less than and greater than signs, and these are all true inequalities. 0 is greater than -4 because 0 is to the right of -4. 2 is greater than -2 because 2 is to the right of -2. -2 is less than 0 because -2 less than means to the left of, and -2 is to the left of 0. -4 is less than 2 because -4 is to the left of 2. All right? So here are the symbols we're familiar with. We're familiar with less than, greater than, 0. But now we have less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So we've seen these before. Now we're talking about what happens when we draw a slash through each one of these. So we had a less than sign, but now we have a not sign through it, the little slash. So 4 is not less than 1. Well, 4 is actually greater than 1. So that is a true inequality, even though it's got a negative negation sign in there. Okay, so 4 is not less than 1. And 4 does not equal, you see the little equal sign, but there's the not sign. 4 does not equal 2 plus 6 because 2 plus 6 is 8. So this is a true statement, and this is a true statement. Okay, so now let's look at this one. The top one, 7 is not greater than or equal to 10. Well, that's true because 7 is less than 10. And not greater than or equal to, there's only one thing left, that's less than, so that is true. But conditional inequalities, which is what we call these, are also able to be false. -4 is not less than 10. If they had just left the negative slash off, it would have been good, right? -4 is less than 10. Therefore, this is a false statement. 7 is not greater than or equal to 3. Well, we could say 7 is greater than or equal to 3, but when we put the not there, it's not true anymore. It is false. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about graphing these. Graphs always shade the portions that make the inequality true. Never try to graph something that's false. Okay, so this is what we do. We have x is not less than 2. Okay, so remember, three parts. Our number line is divided by the number 2 into three parts. If it's not less than, there's 2 parts left. It could either be greater than or equal to 2. So we're going to graph it. We're going to write our inequality without the negation sign. We're going to think about what are the other options. If it's not less than, oh, it's greater than or equal to 2. So we're going to write it, rewrite our inequality, and then when we graph it, we say, okay, we've got to show both of these options. So when x is equal to 2, remember we use a little point right on the 2, But x is also greater than 2, so we're going to have a little arrow going off to the right showing that x is greater than 2 or maybe equal to 2. Those are our only options. But that graph is equivalent to x is not less than 2, because that would have been this over here. Okay, so now we're going to practice that some more. I told you this lesson was easy. We only have 2 more examples and then we get to do our practices together. All right, so this one says x is not greater than or equal to a -1. Well, if it's not greater than or equal to, there's only one option left because 2 are negated. So that means x must be less than -1. So always turn it around, rewrite it without the slash sign on it, and then it's much easier to graph. So here, because there's no equal, it's going to be an open circle on 1, and then it's going to go less than -1. And that's the answer, okay? If it's not greater than or equal to, then yes, it's less than -1. Okay, our last practice, x is not less than -2. Well, they canceled out one of the 3 options. So if it's not less than, that means it's greater than or equal to. So we'll say we'll rewrite x is greater than or equal to -2. Since equal is an option, here's my -2. We'll put a dark circle on that one, showing that it's a possibility. And we're going off to the greater than side, which is to the right. Very easy, isn't it? So now let's do our practice. Here are 3 practice problems, and then we'll be done. So I want you to copy down your practices and pause your video. Go do them by yourself. Hopefully you did that. All right, so here we have x is not less than or equal to. Well, there's only one option left. So we're going to rewrite it as x is greater than -1. 3 options, less than, equal to, greater than. 2 of them are marked off. So x is greater than -1. So here's the -1, greater than but not equal to. So open circle going to the greater than direction, which is to the positive side. X is not greater than 2. Well, there's 2 options left. They knocked out one of them. It can't be greater than 2, so it could be less than or equal to 2. Since equal is a possibility, we'll put down a dark circle on the equal. And, oops, we forgot to rewrite it. Let's rewrite x is less than or equal to 2. And then we're going to graph that off in the negative direction. And last problem. X is not greater than or equal to 2. So there's only one option left. X must then be less than 2. So here's the 2, but 2 is not an option. It's a boundary, okay? So x is less than 2, so here's the 2. We're going to go off with an open circle on the 2 to the left. And we are done with lesson 91. And this is Mrs. A. And may God bless your day.